Kal Halalyam La Yahweh Bahasham Shal Yahweh Shai Bahasham Kakodash, which is ancient Paleo Hebrew for all praises to Yahweh, the Heavenly Father's only name, who the world ignorantly calls Jah, Jehovah, etc. In the name of Yahweh Shai, his son's only name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, Yeshua, etc. In the Rakakodash, the wisdom and understanding of the Holy Scriptures, alright? Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutations to the sincere Akim, 144,000 men, the one-third men, women, and children elected to be saved in these last days. Once say to Wadi Halbashim Yoshai, putting your spirit on me to be this lesson, to edify the church. I pray that it's edifying to those that the Most High may bring this lesson to. Alright, so just want to get into a lesson about the chariots, alright? The chariots of Israel, the chariots of salvation. You know, these UFOs, as the world ignorantly call them, these objects, these signs in heaven that these people cannot explain. Different army officials, government officials are seeing signs of these. Even what you call civilians are seeing these signs in the sky. And this is an example of one of them on the right. Alright, I posted it a while, and some people was asking, what's this? But there will come a time where everyone will know exactly what it is, because it's prophesied. Alright, and just want to bring out a quick lesson identifying. Now this image here presents the chariots, the heavenly vehicles, alright, the chariots of Israel, or the Hebrew word marakab, as a cloud, alright. But usually it could be a wheel within a wheel, according to Ezekiel, but we're gonna get that. This is Psalms 104 verse 1. It says, "Bless Yahweh, O my soul, O Yahweh, my power. Thou art great, and thou art clothed with honor and majesty." Right? Yahweh Shai is great and clothed with honor and majesty, and these vehicles are a representation of that, because look how great this thing is. You know, no eyes have seen things like this on this level. And soon it's going to increase. Slakia, it's already increasing, right? Because there was a report by the government, by the U.S. officials, stating that there's an increase of so-called UFO sightings. Alright, it says, "Thou art clothed with honor and majesty." Verse 2: "Who covers thyself with light, with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain." The heavens is talking about the universe, the galaxies, different billions and trillions of planets out there. And how else would these angels be traveling back and forth? These spiritual beings be traveling back and forth to visit the earth and so forth, via these same vehicles, so to speak, these aircraft, so to speak. All right. It says, "Who laid the beams of his chambers in waters? Who maketh the clouds his chariot?" You see, who maketh his clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Now, if you go to Daniel, chapter 9. Let me just search it quick. Ancient. Yeah, if you go to Daniel chapter 7 verse 9, it says, "I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit." That's the Most High, Yahweh, right? "Whose garment is as white as snow," which is parallel to what it's saying, that you clothe thyself in light, right? And the hairs of his head is like pure wool, alright, because the Most High is a so-called black man, a so-called Negro man, alright, not a Caucasian, right? "His throne was a fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire." That's talking about a chariot, similar to what's to the right to this video. And his wheels are burning fire. That means that the chariot was around him, alright? So, just want to bring on that quick point. Let me get to Matthew. "And his son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus, will return on that same chariot." Alright? Matthew 24 and verse 30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. That's talking about the families, right? All the different nations. And that's what tribes, the word tribes goes back to. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Because he's not going to be literally riding on a literal cloud, like you. He's going to be on a chariot, right? It's going to appear as a cloud, and then he's going to take it. Then he's going to show its true form and his glory and his power. Something like what happened in Independence Day or War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, right? That's how Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is going to judge this world, right? And that's going to happen during World War III, when everybody's fighting each other. Well, not everybody. The elect going to be waiting for this day, for the chariots of salvation, right? And while everybody's fighting each other, they're going to turn and fight Yahweh Shai in the sky, right? With the innumerable amount of angels, right? Let me get to Matthew 26. And he's going to say this to, he's going to tell them, he's going to tell 26 to 4. He's going to repeat it again. This is Matthew 26 and verse 6 to 4. It says, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, coming in the clouds of heaven. All right. Yeah, the Son of Man sitting on the right hand. So right now he's sitting on the right hand, and when he returns, he's coming with these chariots, right? And the true form and the details of this chariot will be revealed on that day, or well, it may be revealed before that to the men of the Lord, so that the Most High could build our faith, right? Because the Most High got master plans, right? And when that chariot returns, it's gonna pick up the chosen, right? Let me see here. Yeah, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 15. It says, For this we say unto you by the word of Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord of Yahweh Shai shall not prevent them which are asleep. Right? We which remain shall not prevent them which are asleep. Who's asleep? Those that passed, those that died, all right, in this truth, like Saint Jehoiada, Saint Rawai, and the other brothers that may have passed in the truth, that the Most High, took the ghost from, so to speak. It shall not prevent them. All right. It says, verse 16 says, For Yahweh Shai himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, all right, and with the voice of the archangel, with the trump of Yahweh, or the Most High, and the dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. All right. They shall come out first, because they were already with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says so in Ecclesiastes. All dust return to the earth, and the spirit of man shall return unto the Father who gave it. Roughly paraphrasing Ecclesiastes 12, I believe. All right. It says, and the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. Verse 17. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up. Yeah, and that's when the nuclear bomb's about to hit United States, which is Babylon. We shall be caught up, right, in that nick of time, right? And then the scripture says, then we shall know who are my chosen, right? It says, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet Yahweh Shai in the air, and so shall we ever be with Yahweh Shai. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. Yeah, and these words are very comforting, knowing that our salvation is nearer than we thought. With all the stuff that's going on, we should continue to look up. Let me get that precept. I love that precept. I was just confused what is Luke or John though. Take this off. Let's see, it's not right though. Yeah. Let's look. Yeah, let me see. Just read a little more. Let me start from 24. It says, Luke chapter 21, verse 24, it says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Right? And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. That's some of these different eclipses and so forth, right? And in the stars, different comets passed in, and different things. And that's going to increase. And upon the earth, distress of nations. And right now we're in distress because this coronavirus is shaking people up. Just I was checking out some videos a while back, sometime back, and showing that now we have a curfew here in Guyana, and people are on the street, and the police are being like aggressive, for lack of a better word. They're assaulting people. We call police brutality, but that's not nothing new, because that's what the scriptures talked about, and different things are going to continue. And upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of tsunamis and whatnot. There's going to be a lot of floods. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of floods going on in where is Florida. I was checking out this video on GSN. I gotta check it out. Yeah, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. You see, a lot of people's hearts are failing them after those things which are coming on the earth. Yeah, these things like this would scare them, right? Because I post this, and people start like, what's that? Especially women. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with great power and glory. That's the cloud I'm talking about, or slack. That's the cloud the scripture is talking about. These chariots. Let me read it again. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. With these things, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Then look up, lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh, right? And that's the redemption we're looking for. I got one more precept. That's Psalms. Psalm 68 and 17. This is a major point. Proof. Let's see. Yeah. The Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even 20,000s of angels. Yahweh is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Yeah, the chariots of the Most High is innumerable. 20,000, even 20,000s of angels. These angels are traveling in these vehicles, all right? And the scripture already say that he maketh his clouds chariots, all right? And Yahweh is among them. Let me get this precept in Ezekiel to prove the wheels of fire. Yeah, won't be right if I didn't. Ezekiel 1. Let's start from 12. It says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold one wheel. Now as I beheld, this is Ezekiel 1 and 15. It says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his 4 faces. All right, and that creature is talking about the angel. Was given a description of the angel. Everybody's talking about one face as a man, which represents intelligence. One face as an eagle, which represents swiftness and agility. One face of a lion, which represents courage and strength and bravery. And one face of an ox, which represents strength and power. All right, slack you. Yeah, this is Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 15. Now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with four faces. All right, and one wheel upon the earth, that mean that it landed. All right, the appearance of the wheels and their works were like unto the color of beryl, which is green. All right, according to what Yahweh Shai was wearing in Daniel. All right, Daniel chapter 10. It says and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel, and the appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of beryl, and they four had one likeness. All right, they all looked alike. It says, and the appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So that's just a description of the chariots of heaven, the vehicles of heaven, the heavenly vehicles, UFOs, what we call it IFOs. All right, and we just got to keep looking up and see these different signs in heavens, Abaratazah. I'll do another lesson on this as I get more clips and so forth. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Thwadi Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, for putting your spirit on me to do this lesson. I pray this lesson was edifying. Double honors to the apostles and elders of greatness, so on, and salutation to the sincere Akim. Let's push the truth of the Holy Scriptures in fear, sincerity, and truth. All right, Shalom, Brakatham, till another time.